Okay, so here we are on a hot start. So the first thing I do on a hot start is again, we're following a flow chart. So I click that up, and depending on what tanks I have loaded, if I have my external tanks on the wings loaded, I click this. If I just have the centerline tank, I click this. Okay, then I come to here and I arm the seat. I make sure that I hit this twice and this twice. I turn my lights on, and this is just to help me see in the cockpit better. Okay, then I move my view to here. I grab this, and I turn my RWR on. I set my altimeter here. Okay, I come up, I turn my HMD knob on. I click that twice, so that's ready to go by the time I get back. I get my map off there. I rotate this knob, and I pull my parking brake. Now, at this point, I'm going to do a quick rearm reload, but it's already armed and loaded because it's done on a preset. Then I click my tanks. I come over here, I turn my EW on. At this point now I can move just slightly forward a little bit. I'll turn my waypoints on, box my waypoint, hit data, hit air to air, come back, hit my RDR radar, hit my IFF, DLL on, DLL on. If I have a tack hand, I turn that on, which I do. This one, I don't remember what it is offhand. Could be this, 12, I think. It is. Then I hit menu. Oh, sorry, I was already on that. I box HUD, hit standby, and because of my presets that I have already set for my dispenser for my chaps and flares, I hit manual 1. I hit menu, SA page, sensors, RWR, SA page, back to the SA page. That's done. Then I come over here to my HMD. I set up my HMD's distance. This can be anywhere from 80, 70 to 100. Now I'm going to do my alignment. Hit HMD again. Align. Now this is very important. You notice I hit my cage uncage knob there just to set that. Make sure you don't move your head left or right. Only move your head up. Okay. I zoom in because I want to get this as accurate as possible. There it is. Once I do that, now I hit my cage uncage button. I hold it in until it says okay. Once it says okay, then I let it go. Now I have 3 more adjustments to make here. You notice up here at this top bar, this bar is off to the left or to the right a little bit. So I'm going to use my TDC cursor to move that over from left to right. And then I'm going to go up. You can see it go up a little bit there. I'm going to move that up and down. Once I got that set right in the middle of that cross, okay, then I'm going to hit again, cage, uncage. Now I'm going to do the bottom part down here, which is the droll. Okay, and you can see there's the cursor there. Okay, and again I get that lined up. Once I do that again, I hit cage, uncage, and you'll see this turns to DXY. Now at this point you don't want to move your head because your jihicmus is aligned and your alignment is done. So you want to zoom out very carefully to where you can see your right MDI. As you're doing that, you now hit the align button that was boxed, that unboxes it, and now your alignment's done. Then you hit menu, and now I'm going to zoom in again, and now I'm going to set up my weapons. So I come over here to auto, and how I did that was I hit AMRAM, come to auto, small, small, hit menu, cancel auto. Now this side is completely set up. Now I set up my actual AMRAM. So I want to go 6 bars, set it to high with a 20-degree sweep, put my data at 16, and set. Now my AMRAM set. Now I'm going to do my 9X. 9X is 10 miles out, 6 bar, medium, and again 60-degree sweep with a data of 16. I hit set. Now, because I like to have an additional radar setup for my AMRAM, I use the Sparrows. I select the Sparrow because I don't use the Sparrow. I bump this out to 80 nautical miles with a 6 bar. I leave this at high interleave because it's switching between medium and high. That's what that does. Then again here, I'm going to bump that to an 80-degree sweep. My data is going to be set to 16, and then I hit set. Now, pretty much my jet is set up at this point, except for one thing I have to do. My jet hit miss bit, hit menu twice. You'll see bit up here. This stuff's blinking, so you hit stop, hit displays. Now it says HMD1. I turn my head here so that I can still view this window. I hit HMD, and now it's in test. Now, to let this go through and test properly, so you can see where you saw the little box, this box here with all the squares, I let that go through 3 times. Once it goes through 3 times, I hit the button stop. Or you can let it go through all the way. So, once it's done 3 times, I go ahead and hit stop, and it says go down here on HMD. I center my view, I come back to radar, I hit my cage uncage button again. I'm going to pull up what my ING is, which I'm on the Nevada map, so I can't really set that because it goes lower than the jet will actually allow me to go. So at this point, we're set up. I'm going to hit EW down here because I want that down there. I set my bingo fuel to 10,500 because when 3 external tanks, 2 external tank, or 1 external tank, they're all empty, this alerts me to let me know that those are empty. Period. That's how I know. And then that goes off, and then I eject it because it makes me lighter and faster. Turn this warning off. I'm ready to taxi to the runway at this point. This is how I set up the jet for a hot start. And if you notice during talking, that took what, 9 minutes. Okay? When I go through and set this up without having to talk or show what I'm doing, I can do it in 3 minutes. So we'll go ahead, undo the brake. I'll go ahead and take off. I taxi to the runway. My flaps are automatically set to half, as they should be for takeoff when you do a hot start. So you don't have to worry about that. And then we'll roll through this, and then I'll quickly go through and do it again so you can see how fast I can do it. And then I'll do a cold start. So my brake is on, and as you can see, my nose wheel high is on, so I'm going to take that off because I don't want that for takeoff. I hold my brake in, I put the thrusters to full, I release the brake, and the jet pretty much takes off by itself. Now, on this particular map, we don't have any winds because I don't have that set up on here, but a lot of maps you play in multi-server have winds or crosswinds, so you have to be careful with that and try to keep the nose as steady as possible. First thing up is your landing gear. Put your flaps to auto, and then what I do is I put my master arm on, I put my air-to-air on, I put my AMRAM in AMRAM mode, I get my SA page back up on the left, I double check to make sure my landing gear is up, because if you reach more than 250 knots and the landing gear is still down, you won't be able to use your radar, you won't be able to file missiles, and you'll have issues when you try to land later if it doesn't damage or rip off the landing gear. So now we're just flying, I'm gradually gaining altitude between 15 and 20 degrees if I'm doing it to just be gradual. And as you can see, I've got a slow turn, and my waypoint here is set to bullseye for 2. So that's where we're headed. And that is indicated by this mark up here. That signifies waypoint 2. And if I actually move to waypoint 3, it changes where it's going to be. Waypoint 4, same thing. So I'm going to move it back to 2 because I want to go to 2. Okay, as I'm flying to waypoint 2, I'll zoom out on the map. You can see the 2 enemies spawn at 161 degrees, 25 miles out, and I'm going to put my radar into TWS mode, which is what I just did, and it already picked them up, okay, and it shows them at being 20 miles out, okay, and because I don't want to fire at them at 20 miles out, because that would make the, now see I'm getting a bingo alert on my tank, okay, I'll get them within 13 miles, 12 miles is fine. There's your bore sight mode. Launch one. Now what I do is I hit undesignate. And then again I put it in bore sight mode by putting it forward. There goes the other one. Trying to get around me. He's locked up. Missile away. Box 3. And bandit kill. It's that simple, but it's not that simple. So again, you didn't see me switch when I was in bore sight mode. There's bore sight mode. To get out of bore sight mode, I hit undesignate. I hit 9X, then back to AMRAM, and that resets my radar. That's very, very important. So now he's telling me we have another bogey, 125. I'm actually dropping my tanks now, so I'm a little lighter, because I already heard the bingo. So let's see where this bogey is at. And there he is. And this is me locking him up on TWS mode. He's locked up. I switched to auto over here on the right side to keep that lock. I'm at 13 miles. I can fire at him at any time, but I want to get in closer so he can't avoid my missile. I fire off a missile. Oh, there's that one. Now I have another bandit coming in. Okay. I'm going to undesignate him. And as you can see, I've already locked up the other one in RTS mode. But I want to get him in Twiz. So I got him in Twiz now. So now he can't detect my missile. And he's dead. No matter what he does, he's dead. You saw that? There we go. Boom. Okay. So with Jahikness, you can lock targets up with that bore sight right there. And there's another one right there. So I'll put him into bore sight. And as you can see, whoa, that was kind of close. See, the bore sight doesn't always work, and look, what it did, it locked up a friendly. So now I have to get around this guy. So that was an A-9X, and that just missed him in bore sight. So you can see sometimes how unreliable bore sight is. Check my radar. He must be gone, or no, he's right on my butt. So there he is there. So there, the bore sight worked. You can see because it locked him up. I'm going to fire an AMRAAM because he's at 2 miles out. A little far away for a 9X. Sometimes the 9X will get 3 miles, 4 miles, and even less. So there he is dead, and that was using bore sight and the JAQUIS to line him up and lock him up. So as you can see, radar's clean. Cool. So here we have a couple more coming in. They're at 064. I'm going to try to put them in TWS mode. And there he is, automatically locked. TWS, fire. Okay, and there's 2 of them. So I'm going to designate the other one now. And there's the other one designated. And I'm out of AMRAAMs, so what I'm going to do is just hit him with a 9X, but I'm going to make sure I'm going to get real close. And that didn't work because it lost lock. And I'm not sure if that's because of the videotaping right now or what, but and he's dead. Okay, that's how you do it.